I guess just your reaction to the tragic news when you first heard about it this morning.
Man, I think when something of this magnitude on this scale happens, there are literally no words that are going to provide any solace for this. This is where moments like this is what reminds us. It humanizes us all and show you just how fast life can change. I think when you're a part of this game, we're always trying to keep things in perspective. And as it's always front and center, this game and all that's going on, it's moments like this that make you stop and put things in perspective. And many lives were impacted last night, this morning. And I think it hit us all with a ton of shock that there's so many families that are impacted. And when you hear the news of something like that hitting so close to home, New Year's, you have family members, you have friends, you have co-workers, you have colleagues, and you don't know if they're a part of it or not. You just don't know. And so some families, it was nobody, that they knew or friends, and some people, it was their family members, it was their friends, it was their brothers, it was their sisters. And it's just truly tragic, it's truly horrific. And I think you just try to stop and you try to be there for people. And I think it's a city that's hurting, it's a city that's mourning. But I think this has gripped our entire nation. I've been receiving calls all morning, text messages all morning, and I think all we can do is just try to be there for the families of the victims that have been impacted.
Demario, how do you compartmentalize something like this? I mean, you guys work through a lot of adversity and tough situations throughout the course of the season, but this is obviously something that's different.
It's a national tragedy. I don't think there's a way that you can compartmentalize it. I don't think there's a way that you can truly process it. I think you just try to manage it as best you can. And I think it's to empathize with those who have been impacted and affected the most. There is no way you're going to be able to bring justice to the families of someone who lost a father or a mother or a sister or a brother. There is no way that you're going to be able to bring them any type of solace. And so all you can do is pray for them, try to be there for them as best as you can, try to support them, keep them in mind, and hopefully allow officials and those who are in charge of handling these situations to do all the due diligence to get it fixed. And I just think this is not just a local tragedy. This is a national tragedy. It just happened here with us.
Demario, Coach Rizzi talked about being able to lean on guys like you and Derek when it comes to being men of faith. What do you think? What is your thoughts about being in position to be able to help this team and to help them be, to be a guide to them during this time?
I think it's a little bit about what I spoke about after the game, which is, man, when it's dark times, everybody's looking for light and direction, and I think this is where you put things in perspective. That there's a type of darkness that happens around the game, losing, but losing season pales in comparison to what's happening right now. This is when you really put things in perspective that we play a game. It's for entertainment. Though it affects people's lives for entertainment, this is real life. Lives have been impacted. lives have been changed. The course of history has been changed in people's lives. And I think faith, having, faith in something that's larger than yourself helps you keep things in perspective for moments like this, to where you can be a sense of a guiding light to people and point them in the direction of where you get the source for your strength from. That no matter what, the sun does come back out, but right now it's just a time of empathy. I mean, this is so fresh. It's a time of empathy. It's a time we don't even know the magnitude of all of it yet. We're still gathering information. And so it's to be there for the families who have been impacted by this situation, to identify them, support them in whatever way that we can. And it is just a time of prayer because, in times like this, nobody has, God, what is happening, and it's not in the sense of questioning God, but it's such a dark that only He can guide us. And I think in times like this, one of the things I hold on is all things work together for good for those called according to His purpose. And though we can't see how it all comes together for good, we have to know that it's good. And just praying for those families and being there for them, being a rock. And this is one thing I know, this is such a resilient community that we know how to have each other's back. And I think the goodness that comes in the midst of tragedy is how people come together. People stop what they're doing. People stop focusing on their lives and figure out a way to go above and beyond for their neighbors. And it's people who are needing us right now to stop what we're doing and pay attention to them and be there to support them mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And it's going to take all of us.